Ooh. Yeah. Good morning, friends. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Built, not sold, yeah, intentionally. No hype talk, just clarity. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Mid-40s, married man, house stay loud. Raising up boys, turning boys into men. New puppy running, chaos around. Still clocking in, but he plotting the end. Giants fan scars, yeah, he wear that pain. Smiles through the losses like part of the game. Never throw shots, never talks that mess. Builds people up, let's results address. Streams every day, never missing a beat. YouTube live X when the mic get heat. Not selling dreams, just showing the math. Wins and drawdowns, full on his path. Spreadsheet brain with a streetwise frame. Plays of discipline, never chasing fame. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. Yeah. Options on screen, risk handle precise. Structures built calm, every move got a price. Cover calls roll, protection in place. Time on his side, patience setting the pace. They say slow down, he say stay exact. Same calm tone when the market snap. Runs through mud just to test that will. Same mindset when the chart goes still. Sings on the post, crowd laugh, he grin. Go dig a hook, but the lesson still win. Movie quotes fly, wrestling frame. Serious work, but he keep it light, man. R to the O to the D. Retire on dividends, you know me. Cash flow mindset moving differently. Numbers don't lie, plans stay ready. If you want that life, say freedom with me. If you want that life, say freedom with me. This was for fun and entertainment purposes. I hope you have fun and will entertain.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, June 19th, and today is the RODY update, the options update, the high yield dividend update, the ZICIT update, the wheel update, the poor man's covered call update, the deep in the money poor man's covered call update, which is the JUCY update. Sorry, it's been a while. I know. Part-time YouTuber now. Hopefully audio is working. Hopefully we still know what we're doing. But please confirm audio. We are live. It's about 9 a.m. A little later. Give people time to wake up. Hopefully more can join and have fun, right? And party with us. All right. Anyway, let's get to it. Bitcoin update. Let's see how we doing on the Bitcoin. Not great. So it's not a great week in general. Let's see how we've been. We kind of came up. We got some alerts. We got 3 alerts this week. SEC approved T. Rowe Price multi-asset crypto. Okay, that should be good news, right? Strategy bought crypto. That's good news, right? BlackRock Bitcoin Income ETF BITA. Okay, that's news to me. BITA. What the hell is BITA? Actually, I gotta look that up now. I don't even know what the hell that is. Is it out? BITA. Premium income ETF. Obviously, yeah, BlackRock currently has IBIT, obviously, but I guess they want their piece of the pie of the Bitcoin income space. And sure enough, here they are, greedy bastards. But yeah, man. So we'll see. 62K. Again, not great, but we'll go. We'll go from there. All right, it's time. It's time. You guys watch the UFC White House card? Freaking pretty damn good. Watch mostly clips, but overall Seems like a pretty damn good card. Let me say my good mornings to the peeps out there. Marcia for the win. Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Good morning to Bruce with a good morning. That's good. Again, yeah, we are on both YouTube channels. Retire on options, retire on dividends. Why do we have so many? Nobody knows, right? Maybe we'll just keep the one. But again, it's good to have backup in case something happens too. Good morning, Jax Beats Nats, aka Jeb Stewart. Double D is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. A1, good to see you. Who else is here? Wolf is here. Good to see Wolf. I know it's I've been slacking a Rooney, but I ain't giving up. I'm at least gonna do once a week, that's for sure. All right, Wooly Bully, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Yeah, what's going on with STRC? Well, again, Bitcoin in general. Plus, maybe they're not impressed with STRC's, 10-11% distribution rate. So it's time for Mr. Saylor to raise up that distribution, brah, because interest rates, they said there may be a hike. I don't know, maybe, whatever. Good morning, Roland. What's going on? What's up? All right, DRMP is up 17%. Well, that's good for the people who own it. Steel, holy crap, it has been a while. Good to see you. SB made it. That's good to hear. Don't judge me, SB. Don't judge me. What does this say? STRC will okay. Yeah, no, it will be okay. It's just scary. It is scary that it does drop like that. Honestly, I thought those days were over, but there's not enough big time peeps up in her investing in STRC. We need some, the big timers, the big corporations to balance it out, right? So, all right. Let's get to it. We're going to talk options, all right? Because that's all I want to do lately. I just want to talk options. That's it, all right? I ain't got no energy for anything else. All right, let's start with open. Again, open, yeah, sucks. I know. Open sucks. It's very volatile. Will it go to the moon one day? Maybe, maybe not. I think they actually have a pretty damn good idea, making, buying and selling of, the homes just remote, online. Enough with the realtor crap, this and that. Like, save money, sell your home through a freaking app. Isn't that amazing? Anyway, the market doesn't think so. So they're still sitting around the 447 range. I have 10 contracts through, this is called the RODY play. We do 3 legs: buy, call, sell, put, buy, put. Same expiration. The buy, call, sell, put is same strike price. It's around a delta 1, which means it moves up and down directionally with the underlying 1-to-1, dollar per dollar. But no longer when you buy the put, obviously that changes the overall delta. But the put is for protection in case the stock goes to 0, in case the stock tumbles pretty bad. So that's kind of like the RODY play. And then what we do after you open the RODY is you sell calls. And guess what? This week, I did not sell any calls. Honestly, it's tough to sell calls on open until we get to the $5 range. And yeah, man, we haven't been there. So I sold one, but the last one was June 9th, $7 strike. And yeah, so nothing this week. Sorry, nothing new and exciting. So I have 5 contracts pending, which means next week, guess what? If open does fly back up, then yeah, we could have some recovery and I could sell some more calls and draw in some more income. But this synthetic, FYI, it does expire November 20th, right? And at that time, that's it. It's over. Plays over, move on, right? I'm probably going to be done with open. Open for me now. I still believe in the company. I think it's a pretty good idea in general. So I did buy leaps on it. So those are under the hoppers tab, which I can show you in a little bit. But and then we do have the holdings. It just shows you how much it's worth at the moment, the synthetic position, negative 880. All right. So I'd actually lose money, right, if I closed it today. So I'm not going to close it though. I'm going to play it out and see how things go. All right. So yeah, no income from the open position. Then we got SOFI. SOFI is also a RODY. But overall, yeah, we got what? 5 contracts. Here's the summary. 5 contracts, average cost basis 2020. That's all we need to worry about. All right. So for this week, we got a whole bunch of nothing, right? Because we did not trade. We did not trade it because we did not get the opportunity. We did have two contracts expiring worthless. We had, 21 strike. 21 strike, 2 covered calls. They expired on June 18th yesterday. They expired worthless. So, which I actually did not confirm. I got to pull up Thinkorswim on my phone. But hold on a second. How's everyone doing today? You guys love STRC. STRC and SEDA. All right, so let's check out SoFi. If I pull it up, covered call wise, I just have the 3. So we only have 3 covered calls now on SoFi. So I did not sell any covered calls this week. So unfortunately, they did not help me make money, but it's okay. It's okay. I'll wait till next week. The interest rate news kind of killed it in general, but it is what it is. I'm not worried. SoFi, by the way, the synthetic on SoFi expires June of 2028, which is 2 years away. So we have 2 years to make some bank, bro. Again, SoFi, same thing. Application bank, none of that old fart crap where you go up to the bank. Can I get a deposit slip, please? Yeah, I worked at a bank for many years. Oh, man. You don't even know, man. Do you know how do I fill out this check? Oh, man, I can't even. I got stories for days, man. Angry people, too. Woo-wee. All right, anyway, let's look at IBIT. IBIT. All right, so I trade IBIT in more ways than one now, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Just a little bit. All right, so IBIT, we're doing the Zikit, or shall I say, we're starting with the Zebra. The Zebra is what? Buying 2 calls, selling 1 call. Same expiration date. This one I chose December of 2028. Way out there, right? Because we're long on Bitcoin. We're long on IBIT. IBIT is Bitcoin for the most part, ETF purposes. So yeah, when you buy 2 calls and you sell 1, obviously you can only sell calls on the other one. All right, that's okay. But I have two of these Zebras, which means I have 2 contracts to play around with. So if I go to my covered call tab, by the way, how's the font looking? Is this font reasonable? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know, Chico. All right, A1, you like SoFi too? That's good, right? We should be rolling here. We should be rolling. I hope. Hello, la. What show's that from? Come on, TG. Let us know. CCTG. All right. Anyway, let's look at IBIT. So IBIT covered call wise, what did I do this week? I did a rolling order, right, on 1. Did I hide too many? I don't even know if I hid the other. So I did a rolling order, and I'm going to gray it out. On 1, I had a $38 strike. So I rolled that, I guess, here, right? Because I had 2. Did I hide where the hell's the other one? No, I only had 1 open IBIT. Okay. Interesting. All right, whatever. I'll hide both. All right, so for IBIT, my synthetic cost basis is $35. All right, so when I sell calls, I'd like to stay above $35. All right, so the first one, IBIT was at $38. I sold a call at 41. I'm trying to keep the delta at 20 or below, and the reason is this particular play, I'm calling my growth and income play. It's not just focused on income. It's more so growth too, because it's IBIT. It's Bitcoin here, right? I want to capture the upside along with the income. So I do a delta. This delta was really weak, right? 0.14. So we played it super safe. Only made $18 on that. And then later in the week, yesterday actually, I sold a call at 38. 38's a little lower, obviously. The delta on that was 0.18, but I made $17. So overall for the week, if you highlight these 2, this is the income for, this IBIT play, $35. How much am I risking in total? If I go to the Zikit, you can see the expense here, right? on the calls and then the credit for the sell call. But if you add it up, it's $5,150. So if I make $35 a week with a $5,150 investment, right? That's an ROI per day. Wait, did I calculate that right? Why is this? Oh, no, that's the wrong column. I'm sorry. That's a return of 0.68%, which is actually per week. And if you multiply that by 52, you get it annualized at 35%. But again, this is a growth in income play. So to get a 35% yield on a growth in income play, I mean, I think that's pretty damn good. What do you guys think? All right. Font looks good. Thank you for confirming. Got to pick between the voice. Yeah. Seinfeld. That's right. Double D. No shocker that Double D got that. Let's see. Just seen STR is 82. Yahoo News. That okay. All right. Anyway, let's move on. IBIT Holdings. Again, this is just an as-at position where we stand on the value. Obviously, this ETF has dropped since I opened those positions. Now, let's move on to our poor man's covered call. I have a poor man's covered call on NVDL. NVDL is a 2x leverage play on NVIDIA. It's actually one of my favorites now. I know I'm trying to stay away from the individual underlyings, like the individual companies, because it's just not worth the trouble. Like if one bad thing happens, the CEO farts in the wrong direction, like you got problems, bruh. And you don't want that. That's why we like the indexes. But I mean, NVDL, man, that options chain, it just, you put in anything you want, bling, it goes through, bling, bling, bling. I don't know, man. It's very popular. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm having fun with it. Could NVIDIA tank any day? Sure. And I'll go down with it. But until then, it is what it is. All right. So anyway, I bought 2 calls. These expire in December. It's more of a short term. But again, I'm going to play it out by ear. Again, these leveraged 2x leverage plays, they say, oh, they decay over time. All right, look at the long-term chart on TQQQ, then tell me that, right? Seriously. But no, for real though, I don't care, honestly. As long as I'm trading options on it weekly, honestly, I may even go like when this play's done, I may jump back in and do a further expiration date. Why? Because why the hell not, right? Why the hell not? So anyway, we got a 2-strike here at 99.87. So my average cost, if I go here, is 93. So again, 2 leaps per se with a $93 cost basis. All right. So the delta on these is 0.7. That's not really set in stone. It could be a little, I prefer actually higher, but it doesn't matter. It's 0.7. All right. So the expense for these though is $6,197 total. That ain't cheap. Shelling that kind of money out. But look at the price of this. $100. Hello. You hear me? $100 freaking dollars. If you owned 100 shares, how much would that be? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? You ain't got $10,000, brah. Or maybe you do. And maybe you don't want it sitting there. But this is not even $10,000. This is 2 contracts. So you need $20,000 for the same exposure. Instead, I shelled out $6,197. But the disadvantage I have is I have time. Time is against me on these plays. We got 6 months left. But in the meantime, what are we doing? We're selling covered calls. I had 2 calls expiring this week. I let it go till yesterday, Thursday. Again, the market's closed today. Duh, we know that. But just a reminder. 101 and a 103. We closed around 99. So both of these, I pretty much let decay to almost nothing, almost no extrinsic. So I did, if I go to the right, you'll see 2 rolling orders. So they basically cost almost nothing to close, which was good. So I'll hide these plays out so they're not in our way anymore. And we could see, all right. So what am I doing on the delta on these? These I'm going, are these growth in income? Not really. But I'm not like giving up on growth. So I'm doing the delta between 0.2 and 0.3, plus or minus. I'm doing whatever the hell I want, to be honest. But that's the idea. Like 0.3 would be like really good premium. 0.2 would be okay premium. So in the middle, great premium. So I chose 2 different strikes. One is a 106. The delta on that was 0.27. Look at the payout though, 130. Pretty damn sweet, right? And then I chose a 108, 0.21 delta, $100. Again, these are covered calls with a 1 week expiration date. All right. Actually 8 days because we closed on Friday. So hopefully there's a little more juice considering that. So anyway, if we highlight these 2 amounts here, you can see we made $230. Again, how much are we risking? We're risking, we showed it before. Where is it? 6,197. That is the total at risk. That is the total invested. We made $230 this week. That is a 3.71% return on investment. If I multiply that by 52, that's essentially 193% annualized yield, which again, you cannot complain. However, yeah, we kind of have to make around 197 to get house money. We do have to keep that in mind. But of course, you know, that is not considering how much in the end the leap is going to be worth. All right. So, but we don't have to want to rely on that. So yeah, 230 is over 197, which is good. It's not last week, but last week was, you know, we're not going to get that kind of money every week. But if we average around over $200, I think we're doing pretty damn good. What do you guys think? Right? What do you guys think? Anyway, anyone else trade NVDL in the over here? Suckers. All right, let's move on. NVDL holdings. Yeah, we don't care. It's worth what it's worth. All right, JUCY time. Let me get to the comments before I talk about JUCY because that's involved. I have enough SDRC for now. We'll reinvest, but have 31 shares to account. Sometimes you got to live dangerously. Oh my, yeah. Look at it. Look at this. It's the other retire on dividends. It's Ambassador of Quan. I was watching actually your show with Eric. It's right here. By the way, if you guys missed it, Ambassador, I think he did 2 videos yesterday. I couldn't. I didn't realize until now. I got to share them in the Discord later. But I'm 9 minutes in, and then I had to go live. But then after this, I gotta play with the kiddies. But you know, I gotta finish that later. But check it out, guys. Good interviews. So prepared with interviews. He's the man. I did some NVDL options a few months ago. What'd you think, Wolf? Was it good? Juicy Brucey. Juicy Brucey's here. He loves the JUCY. All right, you guys ready for JUCY? Do you know what JUCY is? JUCY is it's a different type of play where we give up upside. We don't give a damn about upside. But guess what? We protect our asses on the downside. So what the hell's in the middle of all this? It's what they call the juice, right? The juice or the extrinsic income, right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right. So anyway, what did I do? I bought a leap, right? A 1-year leap because I was a cheap ass. I only went out to June next year, right? So yeah, I mean, 385 days. So this is on IWM, the Russell 2000. The delta I chose is 0.85. I want to like typically for this type of play, you want a 0.85 or higher. All right. 0.9 would be actually even better, but it is what it is, man. So we had a 230 strike. That's our strike, 230, if that matters at the moment, right? So this part, I'm going to have to explain through this tab, all right? So in the beginning of the week, we, again, the synthetic is a 230. Actually have to go. I'm going to have to flip back and forth. So if we look at this row here, at the time I opened this trade, the stock was at 294, the stock being IWM. All right. Now, our delta on the leap at that time was 0.86, which means when I sell this call, which is going to be in the money, I can have the delta above 0.86 because in case we get blown through, I want to be able to capture and move up with the underlying a little bit. So on this one, it was a 0.75 delta. So what does that mean? That means net delta 0.11 means for every dollar you move up or down, right? Essentially, you're going to go up or down 11 cents. All right. So that's the idea behind that. All right. And more importantly, again, if you get blown through, at least you have some upside. You know, you get some potential there. Now, so that being said, since we chose a 0.75 delta, that would make our strike at 288, which at the time, it was what, 2.3% in the money. All right. And the reason you go in the money, because you're able to now capture intrinsic value, which was, where is it here? $6.79 worth. Now, this protects you on the downside. If IWM goes down, guess what? You don't give two craps. If IWM goes up, you don't give two craps, right? What would you prefer? Of course, if it goes up, great. You want to get blown through. You want to be even further in the money, right? But if it goes down, it's okay. And that's the whole point, because we don't care. We don't track the market. We don't predict the market. We can't predict the market because we suck, right? So what do? We do JUCYs. We do JUCYs. So again, if it goes down, what happens? Well, we have this number here. It's called the loser price. This is when we turn into a loser. And the number is 285. All right. In the end, we closed around 293. So obviously we did not get to the loser price. But again, if it dropped 3.29%, which is a lot for an index on a week, you don't care, right? Because you're still making money. And that's the idea behind it. All right. Now, I'm going to show you my tracker. So we started this off with $1.56 in extrinsic. I know I only showed you the intrinsic of 679, but we made 156 in extrinsic. Total per share, total premium, $8.35 per share. But again, we're focusing on the $1.56. So we opened it up. After day one, the 156 extrinsic went to 185, right? Because it actually dropped in price, the underlying, which means it went closer to at the money. Closer you go to at the money, the extrinsic value actually goes up. But again, do we care? No, we don't. You know why? Because eventually the extrinsic value will go to zero and it will burn to nothing. And that's what matters. All right. So day two, the extrinsic actually dropped massively, right? Because IWM went up further out of the money. So it went to 53 cents, which is now which means we're holding essentially 66% of the value. The next day, IWM dropped again. So our extrinsic went up to 95 cents. Now we're at only 39%. And then the next day, IWM went up again. So we had a very high extrinsic. This is the Wednesday, right? The Wednesday before the Thursday. Keep in mind, Thursday's expiration. Only 13% of the extrinsic was burnt. But you know what's going to happen on the expiration date? This crap is going to burn a lot. All right. So eventually, when we closed out our position, IWM was at 293. Our extrinsic was at 32 cents, which means we kept essentially 80% of the extrinsic value. Ideally, yeah, I'd like to have more, but that's what I calculated it to be. All right. So, yeah, in the end, look, we started the position. IWM was at 294. It ended at 293. Okay. Makes sense. And we collected, again, 156 net of 32 cents. Or if I show you on a better visual here, $1.20. Oh, no, where is it? 124 of extrinsic premium. And we actually kept intrinsic premium of 171. But again, we don't care about that. We really don't. Also, we were tracking, because, you know, I did this for SB. We were talking, when IWM goes up in value and we get blown through, we get further in the money, like to the right here, it actually shows that we went up. The overall position, the leap and the covered call went up 1.74%, right? When we went down, the down day, yeah, we went down. We lost a little money, but then the next day, again, as extrinsic was burning, we went up another 1.99. And then the last day we went up 1.05. The overall position actually went up 4.3%, and I'm showing for the week. So again, we traded kind of flat though, so we kind of got lucky there. But in the end, look, we made 124 extrinsic premium. So we go down here, that's how much we made. So what's the annualized yield on that? 88%. Is that good? No, I mean, I want better because I'm a greedy ass, but that's still pretty damn good. All right, so in the end too, where is it? Covered call. Anything on the covered call is realized. Anything on the synthetic is unrealized because the covered call expires weekly. The synthetic is staying open until the expiration date unless we get assigned early. Then we may have to close it out. But for right now, we could see we actually made, again, intrinsic value and extrinsic value. But for purposes of, this play, we only count the extrinsic. You know why? See this 171 we made? We didn't really make it. You know why? Because we lost that same 171 on the synthetic side. All right. So it's a 1-to-1 match. Just like last week, we lost 587 on the intrinsic premium, but we offset that through a gain on the synthetic. Makes sense? Does that make sense, peoples? All right. Anyway, so that was last week's trade. So we can grade that out and move on. Let me know if you have any questions. You guys always get quiet during JUCY. I mean, is it confusing to you guys? Like, am I not explaining it well, or do you think it's just like, is it hard to wrap your head around? I don't know. What do you guys think? I need to know. I need feedback here, like right now. All right. Wolf said he won his trades on NVDL, so that's good. You think you want Chippy Mania? Yeah, sorry, I haven't even looked at that. I'm trying not to give up on Guestimania, but I'm getting very close. A couple of funds I'm growing already, but I'm thinking about starting a position on Chippy and Soxy. Well, Chippy's killing it. But what about this play, guys? What about JUCY? Explaining it well, I'll just have to pay attention. Okay, so yeah, again, I'm trying to, and I know it took me, ask SB if he's still here. It took me like probably a year to grasp, like, in not caring about in the money, right? Or just like the overall idea behind it. I don't know. My old brain hurts. Hey, I'm with you, man. My old brain is hurting too. It's just counterintuitive, hard to grasp. That's when you blow through that. It's a wash. I need help. For me, it's learning curve, but I'm getting more every time. Oh, that's good to hear. That makes me want to do it every week. It is above my pay grade so far. All right. So here's the new trade. Okay. So now we're going to go through this week's trade. Again, we had to open a new one. And so far, just FYI, if it matters, this one I've been doing a buy to close, and this one is a sell to open. I have not been doing a rolling order, which is why these two prices are different. And it's only for my spreadsheet. I know, pretty stupid, because I should always have the covered call going, but I have to find a way to balance it because it's really hard to, it's really hard to track this. But honestly, I feel like you have to track it for it to make sense. I wouldn't be able to do this without tracking it on the sheet. I'd be like, this is the dumbest crap ever. I'm losing money, right? That's what you would think. But again, so let's look at this. All right. IWM, when I opened the new position, it was at 292.86. All right. Again, my leap still at 230. That's a strike I chose. What was the as at delta? The as at delta, because again, it can go up, it can go down. So, but I care about what the delta is now, because my call, it matters, right? Whatever the delta on the call, it's going to matter. This delta is going to be a big concern. So if this was at like 70, then yeah, this delta's got to be below 70. So, but anyway, so the delta is currently at 0.84. So it did drop. It dropped a point. In fact, we were at 86 the beginning of last week, right? But we only went down $2. But again, that's okay. Maybe the overall volatility dropped, right? Because it was after the Fed spoke. So maybe there's nothing super volatile to worry about. Again, this is small cap stock. So it was probably super volatile heading into that speech, right? In the announcement of the interest rates. All right. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care. 0.84 is still a pretty damn good delta. Okay. Now, let's focus on the covered call. I had to do a covered call, right? Because again, that's the whole point of this. So what delta did I choose? We knew the delta on the covered call had to be below 0.84. How far below? Again, my thinking, based on how I feel, it's going to be around 0.1. All right. Can it be below 0.1? Yes, but not too much lower. Maybe 0.08 is the max, right? Max low. And then maybe on the high, 0.12, right? So we'll call this the high. So yeah, I probably could have gone a little higher delta, but I didn't. So I did a 0.72 delta. And what does that mean? That means we have a delta of 12. So dollar per dollar, whatever the, again, this is the overall position we're talking about. The overall position will move up or down 12 cents dollar per dollar. All right. That's just what the, the whole net delta is for. It's mainly a concern on the upside, right? Because if IWM goes from, what is it now, 292 to like 300, yeah, we want to have some upside capture. We want to get some, some value on the leap, right? We're going to be paying our ass out on the intrinsic value, but we're not worried about that. We're worried about the extrinsic. Why? Because the two intrinsics will offset. Okay. All right. Now let's get back to here. So since I chose a 0.72 delta, what was the strike? The strike on that was 287. All right. 287 was 2% in the money, right? Because we have a calculation here. It takes the 287, compares it to the as-at price. All right. Now, that's not, that matters, of course, but what really matters is this loser price, right? Because we have a calculation for that, which I didn't draw out the whole thing. I'll do that in the next video. But overall, like ideally, yeah, IWM, it can go down 3.24%. All right. And we'd be okay still. We'd still be okay. FYI, I have this. This is the IWM average weekly change based on absolute value, which shows actually, you know what? Let me, I want to put the date as of, let me get the hidden spreadsheets. IWM change. Yeah, here it is. So, all right. So it's as of 1/1/21 that we're tracking this. Okay, IWM average weekly change based on absolute value as of 1/1/21. Okay. Average, let me shrink. Okay. So again, as of 1/1/21, I might as well show you since it's here. I'm just tracking the weekly change in price and how much up or down it went. So it could go up 7%. It could go down 7%. But again, overall, it moves 2.34% up or down, week in and week out. Again, this is a 5-year picture of that. All right, I'm going to hide this again because we don't need to see that, but just FYI, that's where this number is coming from. And the reason I care about that is because of the loser drop. I want my loser drop to be above that number. So since we can withstand a 3.24% drop in the underlying, that makes me feel pretty damn good, since the average drop or up or move, the move in general is 2.34%. And that is the whole point of this. That is the entire point of this, because we're not timing. We're not we don't need the market to do anything. If you sell an out of the money covered call, you want the stock to go up, right? You're not really protected on the downside. In the money covered call, you are protected on the downside to an extent, but you are protected on the downside. And that's what I like. I don't know about you guys, but I like that because I suck at predicting the market. And to be honest, I don't want to predict the market. I don't care. I don't read the news. I don't watch the news. I just don't care. I just want to trade and make money for my time. All right. I'm putting up money. Give me back some money for my time. All right. But it has to make sense. So like I said, IWM, the loser price, this is when we turn into a loser. But we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to turn into a loser. All right. Because again, what's the as-at price, by the way? We closed at 295. So we're pretty far away from that. All right. So our out of the money based on the strike is, 287. But again, this is the real focus here. If we drop to 283, okay, the overall position will actually lose money. All right. Does that make sense? Chicos? All right. SB says he's got it. Well, I know he's got it, right? Because he's been doing this for I don't know how long, but definitely longer than me. I think I want to do it. Oh snap! Oh snap! We if we can get Ambassador of Quan to do this, then we're doing something good, right? Because he's stubborn like me. He don't try new things. It takes a lot to convince. It's still the big up move that I am concerned with, right? I get it. I am waiting for that big up move. Believe me, I want the big up move because I want to see how the overall position reacts. I am dying for a big up move. Although, again, you see the index don't move overall, but that big up move, it's coming. It's coming. All right. So anyway, our extrinsic value this covered call, how much did we make, right? That's what matters, right? We made $8 per share, but we don't care about the intrinsic again because it's offset or onset. It's offset with the covered call. I'm sorry, the leap. So this 526, 586. Yeah, we got paid that, but it doesn't matter because we have the unrealized gain or loss offset on the leap. So what do we care about? We care about this, the 214. By the way, how do you calculate intrinsic value? Simple. You take the the value of the current price of the underlying minus the strike price of the in-the-money covered call. So, and that's how you get 586. And then the difference between the 8 and the 586 then is called the extrinsic value. So this is our moneymaker now. So it's 214 per share or $214. All right. So if I scroll down here, so this is how much we made this week. And yes, I am counting it for this week, even though when we close this next week, this will drop plus or minus a little bit. But we hope to get about 80 to 90% of that value. All right. But if we kept 100%, what would this yield us? Well, again, the capital at risk is 7,297. So that's a return of 2.93%, right? And then if I multiply that by 52 weeks, that's an annualized at 152. In the end, yeah, it's going to be a little less because it's going to pay a little money to close out the extrinsic. But that's okay because eventually the extrinsic is going to go to zero. See this 214, we earned that. But eventually, since we're going to close it out before expiration, there's going to be a cost, maybe $1, maybe $2, maybe $5, but it doesn't matter. It's going to go to zero at some point. So since it goes to zero, we can wait as long as we want, right? Are we worried about assignment? No, we're not, especially since the freaking dividend got announced. Ex-dividend date was what, June 15th? We made it out safe, right? We played it safe, though. We had our extrinsic value stay above this. Look at the dividend, 69 cents. By the way, you don't get the dividend if you own the leap, so don't get too excited there. But we were just worried about it for early assignment purposes, which, again, early assignment, I know it's not a big deal. It's just more of a nuisance, all right? And I don't want any more work. You see how much work this is. I don't want freaking assignment, right? Because then I got more work. Mathematically, it's okay, but I got more work. I don't need more work, all right? Okay, good? We good? All right, so now we're going to pull up the new extrinsic calculation. So again, we start now with $2.14 of extrinsic, right? So as of the close yesterday, again, the extrinsic value was 214 when we opened it. As of the close yesterday, it's worth 139. Why? IWM went from 292. The market actually kind of came back a little. It went up to 295. It actually went up almost 1% since we opened that position. 35% got burnt. So I earned 35%. But again, this is going to fluctuate throughout the week. So I'm not really too excited about that. If this said 80%, I may have considered closing it and opening a new one, right? But it's not going to do that so quick. But anyway, yeah, 35%. So the extrinsic showing 139. Overall position, again, maybe this helps you, SB. It's not a big jump, not a big swing, but the underlying went up about 1%, right? 0.93%. The overall value, look, the synthetic went from 76 to 78, right? The covered call went from 8 to 9. Again, that pushes us down. But the value per share, when we went up $2.95 on the synthetic, we went down $1.98 on the covered call. Overall, though, that's a gain of 0.98. All right, that is a gain of how much? 1.43%. We went up. The overall position went up 1.43% when the underlying went up 1%. Like, again, you don't care about that necessarily, but it's just informational, you know, as we kind of track how this thing freaking works. All right. Does that make sense? Let me catch up on the comments. I see you guys yapping. Yes, Ace Ventura. I love Ace Ventura, but I'm also a little wacky. So with the calls, you should get to house money before year end, and then your profit is the value of the leap. That's a good question. So that part, I did math. I mathed the whole thing here. So now, I know I spend so much time on JUCY, but JUCY, damn, it's so damn complicated. All right. So overall, I've been making extrinsic wise. Where the hell is it? Extrinsic is right here. Okay. This is extrinsic, how much I've been making week over week. So the average I've been making is about 166. All right. Okay. So let's go over here. So I have 52 weeks left of trading. All right. Based on the synthetic expiration. So I have a whole year. My average extrinsic income is 165.75. Okay. My estimated extrinsic income for the remainder of the period will now calculate to 8,619. I have made 663. So if I add the 663 to the future estimated income of 8,600, I get 9,200. My leap cost me 7,297. So I am estimating an extrinsic profit of 1,985. And that's, again, that is just for the covered call income. This does not count any leap income. Do I think there's going to be leap income? I don't know, and I don't care. Do I want there to be? Yes. But again, I already spent the money on the leap. I can't lose any money on the leap, but I can make money on the leap. But again, not caring about that. Regardless, this play, I will be up 27% in profit. And this play is about a year long. So again, that's about the annualized rate. You know, not annual, we'll just call it the total return. So is 27% profit worth your time? Again, this is assuming doesn't care about a bull or bear market. This is in both markets, you're making 27%. In a bull market, this 27% is going to go up because there's going to be a value in the leap, right? In fact, you know what I could do? Here. Watch this. See, I just thought of something. Extrinsic. This is estimated extrinsic ending profit. And then this is the as at leap profit. How about that? All right. So if we add that now, which again, we don't care, but it is part of it because I do update what the leap is worth. The leap is worth 598 because again, we spent 7,297. It's currently worth 7,895. The leap is worth 598. Okay. So now this calculation just got interesting. So we're going to take, what do we got? We got estimated ending profit is sell AI, your favorite basketball player, 108. 108. Okay, we're going to take that. We're going to do plus 598. 35%. Again, this is just as of now. So, you know, 35%. Not bad. But again, you know, you may care about just what is it? This divided by this, right? This is 27%. Because it's good to know, because again, we're only focused on the extrinsic. And that's really, again, 27% in a bull or bear market. Boom, give that to me. Is it worth the trouble? That's another story, right? Maybe I'm over, you know, again, I'm doing overly tracking this because I'm trying to understand it myself while teaching it to you guys. Oh, now she's on the real profile. Oh, snap-a-doo. Yeah, I'm a normal time frame, so there's no excuses now for everyone to be here. You are ready to be a Jedi. Morning, Vlad. What's going on? Can you do this on RUT? Yeah, well, RUT is a little expensive, right? But yeah, you get the 1260 treatment, right? 1262, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, she's on both. I like it. 2 views for 1 person. That's what we're talking about. Sorry, I haven't been able to participate. I'm working today. What? And trying to listen while I work. Listen while you work. All right. That's leverage working. Yep. All right. What else we got? Trying to get work finished so I can start packing. I'm taking my boys camping this weekend. Nice. Enjoy. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out here. I see you. Got work. Have a great day. All right. SB's out of here. Question: what is the worst case scenario for this trade? On this active trade, again, I haven't been through it, but I'm calculating that when we start dropping below, when we drop more than 3.24%, I'm showing that the overall position will move down, right? If it stays above that 283, we're going to make money. If it goes below it, the overall position could lose money. We'll still make the extrinsic, which is great, which is what we're here for. But the overall movement I am showing could be negative. I have not seen it in action, but that is the worst case. All right. So hopefully that made sense. So I could listen. Now that's a true fan right there. My #1 fan. All right. Anyway, let's move on from JUCY. I spent way too much time. All right. Time for you Bitcoiners to get upset at me. You ready? All right. Anyway, here we go. Bitcoin. I closed out my Bitcoin accounts. All right. I had enough. I'm moving it. I'm moving everything to one account. So I had Bitcoin on Coinbase. I had Bitcoin on River. And I had Bitcoin on Robinhood. And I had a bunch of other crap on Robinhood. But honestly, I'm just so sick of that money just sitting there. Yeah, Bitcoin go up long term. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, woohoo. Yeah, we know this. All right, I agree. And to be honest, I'm not a real Bitcoiner anyway, right? I'm not going to get a freaking cold wallet or a hard wallet or whatever. All right. But anyway, so I moved $24,000 to my brokerage account. And what did I do? Well, I am establishing Bitcoin exposure via IBIT. All right. Via the ETF, the bad, the enemy, right? Even though they're not the enemy, but, IBIT. IBIT is Bitcoin. It's just through an ETF. So the plan is to have eventually about the same exposure of Bitcoin just through ETFs. Now, how do I plan on doing that? Well, for one, I bought 2 leaps already on IBIT. All right. One was a $28 strike. One was a $23 strike, both with different deltas, 0.8, 0.85, both with the absolute furthest expiration I could choose, which is December of 28. All right. Now, why is this a good date? Because the next halving of Bitcoin is April of 28. And typically around the halving, that's when people get excited and they FOMO. So this leap should eventually turn into, a profitable position. The problem is, again, they eventually expire. So I rely on, it has to be up by that date to be profitable. Okay. Now, how much exposure do I have to Bitcoin? I am what the hell just happened? How is this not here now? What did I do? Current price is not updating. That's weird. All right. Doesn't matter. All right, whatever. But I'm working on the same dollar amount exposure of overall Bitcoin. What? Yeah, exactly. What? No, I don't care, honestly. And my other plan too, which, you know, I've been trying to ask you guys and gals, I want a good 2x Bitcoin option. All right. Now there's several I've been looking at. There's BITO, which again, it's not really a 2x, but it's volatile play. There's BitX, there's BitU, and there's BTCU. Okay. So what do I want to do? I want the other side of, again, I'm going to continue to buy leaps on IBIT. As further expiration dates come up, I'll buy a new leap, you know, and I'll have big time exposure to Bitcoin. But again, unlike a lot of people, I'm only in Bitcoin for money, for capital appreciation. I'm not in Bitcoin to keep and hold forever, right? So I'm going to get other exposure now through the wheel. So I'm going to trade a 2x leverage fund of Bitcoin. All right. So do you guys have any that you trade that you think are good? I don't see how the gains in IBIT much gains in BTC. It just has the same upside in dollars, or BTC not even close. I don't see how the gains in IBIT match gains in BTC. What do you mean? You don't see, they own Bitcoin directly. So any gains in Bitcoin, IBIT will have the same gains. So anyway, real quick too, I've been pulling up, you know, Rob's sweet ass website. So for BITO, if I look at the IV, the average call IV is 148%. The average put IV is 98%. And if I pull up the expiration dates, they have weekly expirations. Okay, so BITO looks good. Again, I think they have a dividend. So I don't know if that's a concern, but average call on this one, this is BitX. This is really the one I'm thinking about. 220% average call IV. Average put IV, 73%, pretty damn high. Expiration dates, again, it's got to have weeklies, and they do have weeklies as well. Now, if I look at BitU, very cheap, $9 per share. But again, I don't care about the price right now. Average call volume, average call IV, I'm sorry, 169%. Average put IV, very low, 15%. I don't like to see that, but you know, there could be a valid reason. But yeah, so that's for BitU. And then if we go to expiration dates, okay, so they only have monthly. So BitU, which is right here, BitU, which is pro shares, they are automatically eliminated from contention. Okay, so bye-bye BitU. All right, last but not least is BTCU. They're still loading. They're from Direction, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. It's not working. But again, I think this is the winner. I think I'm going to sell options on BitX. Let me know what you guys think. Steel is here to find. Someone answered me. BitX is the OG 2X Bitcoin. Never looked at the newer ones, so no idea market cap of these. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I saw. I think BitX is the one. And again, I'm going to play it aggressive. I'm going to do at the money probably in the beginning because I want Bitcoin exposure, and I definitely want 2X Bitcoin exposure. But instead of just the buy and hold, I'm just going to do options. I'm not going to do options on my leaps though, because I'm going to let IBIT, you know, I'm going to get all the upside I can on the leaps, because again, in the end, it's about making more money, right? It's about financial freedom. It's about a better life for the family. It's not about buy and hold Bitcoin, never sell. All right. That was never part of the plan. But anyway, that's my update on crypto. Hopefully the Bitcoiners don't hate me, but that's what I'm doing. It is what it is. I also have 3 leaps on open, and yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm long open, and this hoppers, this is just for anything that if I'm long, I'm just going to buy a leap, right? SpaceX. If SpaceX goes back to 135, the launch price, I may buy a leap on them. going to be expensive, but I don't know. Again, I want to get some gains here too. Again, I don't want to predict the market, but the good thing about leaps is you just buy it and you just forget about it, right? One-time expense, hope for the best. If you lose it, again, it's not going to kill you because you know the risk up front. Okay, this stupid thing always pops up like that. There you go. All right, let me see. We got some comments here. Sell put spreads on the leap for income. Yeah, I know, but again, I don't got time for spreads either. Again, this is it all. Everything takes time. I love doing options and I want to do more options, but it's like, I don't know, one step at a time. I could do call spreads too. Yeah, Bitcoin goes from 60K to 125, IBIT from 50 to 110, but okay, it's not Bitcoin, so it seems to counter having Bitcoin because actual Bitcoin has more value personally for me, but I get the ETF part. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's not Bitcoin, but again, is it not your wallet, keys, whatever, not your Bitcoin? Again, it's just a store of value. It's a piece. It's a piece, it's a piece of something that I'm going to sell when it goes up in value. ETF has more options to play with, though. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. Yeah, and you can't, like, again, I had most of my money in the Bitcoin Robinhood, and I couldn't even borrow on it. Like, couldn't borrow any margin on it. That's the other thing. I mean, leaps aren't really marginable, but still, if I own IBIT outright, I can borrow on margin against that money. I could borrow on my Bitcoin against my Bitcoin. I know it's IBIT, but you can borrow. I don't have to go through some shady ass loan company through a third party. I'm sorry, but no, thank you. I'd rather do it through the one account. Are you still doing monthly progress updates? No, because honestly, I do the updates here. Like, I have a balance tab here, which you'll see at the end. I'll show you. It's all done. I do weekly progress updates. So every week, every Saturday, although today's Friday because of the early market close. So, all right, I'm sorry. I'll get moving to that part. VIX. Yes, I'm still trading the VIX. So the VIX actually went up this week. I didn't. I did it too soon. I sold it. It was at, well, I had a 23. It expired, right? So let me gray this out. It was at 16.94. I sold a call at 23. How much did it pay me? $15. So check this out. We are now at $211 profit. All right. It's because, again, I bought a leap on the VIX with a 9/16 expiration date. We're now 3 months away. So again, how much did I make on the covered calls? $1,011. The leap cost $800. So that is why we are now at a profit of $211. It's all house money now. It's all house money. How many weeks do we have left? We have 12 weeks left. All right. So we got to figure, is it worth it? Is it worth it to keep this open, or should I just close it out? Right. And the answer is, I'm probably going to close it out soon. All right. Because, yeah, when we get to the end, it's going to be, because we don't know how, if we get blown through, if the VIX pops up to like 50, is your leap going to cover you? You hope, right? We don't know. Again, this is a brand new play, which I'm not going to get into too much detail because this video is already long enough. TSLL. Oh, I got to check my brokerage, but I had 3 positions here, 2 puts. All right, let's look at the puts first. We have a 12 and a 14. Okay. TSLL. Where's the price? What? Why is the current price not coming up? Whatever. We want the aftermarket anyway. All right, aftermarket TSLL 1304. So the 12 should not be assigned. Again, I'm pulling up my my phone because. So the 12 was not assigned, all right, because the 12 is under 13, right? Whatever they closed at. So this expired worthless. Now, if we go here, the 14 is above the 13. What does that mean? That means we get assigned. So since we sold the put at 14, guess what? We get the shares. We get 100 shares of TSLL at $14. I also have to update down here. We go here. So date of assignment, we'll call it yesterday. We'll call it June 18th. And we'll say 100 shares. And the strike price was $14. And before I typed that in, just FYI, my average cost basis was $14.25. This is not going to drop it substantially, but it will drop it. Now it's at $14.20. And that's okay, because I did want more shares. So now I'm at 500 shares of TSLL. Woohoo! All right, so I go back up here. I also had a covered call, $15. Did it get assigned? No, because again, TSLL closed at $13. So this covered call expired, worthless. Now, how many covered calls do I have open? Not that one, right? Just these two. So I only have 200 shares with covered calls. So I'll plug that in here. So I got 500 shares, 200 covered calls, 300 uncovered. Okay, makes sense? All right, now I have a ton of puts, right? Although these expired, so I can gray them out and move on, get them out of the picture. All right, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 puts on TSLL. Is that a bit much? Probably. And only 2 covered calls. I'm hoping on Monday, TSLL goes to the moon, right? And we can sell covered calls. But for this week, I sold a call at $17. I sold 2 puts, 11 and 10. Again, I do the wheel a little differently now. I'm not doing weeklies because, again, I got time for that. I go out like a month or so. In this example, I went out 25, 24, 22 days. So how much did I make this week on T to the S to the L to the L? I made about 83 bucks. I am risking a lot, though, playing this wheel. How much am I risking? $18,700. God damn, that's a lot of money. All right, so $83 on 18.7. It's only a 0.44% return. If I multiply that by 52, it's actually only 23%. But keep in mind, I'm not utilizing that whole 18.7, right? These are from prior weeks. These are from shares that are just sitting there. But ideally, the overall position is at this value. So I think it's fair to compare the actual annualized in return based on that. But still, I made 83 bucks this week. Some weeks will be better than others. So yeah, I think I'm doing, this is going to be BitX. It's decided. So I'm going to wheel the BitX going forward. And I'm not going to do super aggressive. I'm going to do super aggressive in order to get a sign, but I'm not going to do super aggressive on the covered calls, right? In fact, I may have a rule, right, to only sell calls on a certain percent of the position, but we'll decide later. All right, high yield dividends. Who paid me this week? SATA showed up with a payment, even though I sold STRC and SATA, because again, they're not yielding enough for me, so I had to get rid of them. 21.67 from them. Chippy paid me 22, TDAC 11, MLPI 26, KYLD 3, Spicy SPCI 12. I made 97.50 on high yield dividends. So yes, I am still in high yield dividends, but only the ones that you see here: Chippy, GDXY, T-SPY. GDXY does not show a dividend because they usually pay Friday. So that's why they are not included there. T-SPY I own, TSLL, they do sometimes pay a dividend. They're actually due probably in July to pay a dividend. TDAC is at 11, MLPL, whatever. All right, so anyway, those are my high yield dividends. And weekly income, how much did I make this week? I made $577 in options premium, $97.50 in high yield dividends. That's a total of $674.50. The weekly goal is $500 a week, 500 times 4 weeks in a month, $2,000, and that covers the bills. So I exceeded the goal by 174. Last week I exceeded by 312. Week before that, I exceeded by 72. So I already met my goal. So no matter what happens next week, I can make 0 next week, and I'm good for the month of June. All right. And here's a better, more beautiful picture of the overall options play. Lots of comments I have seen. Let's see. Just a way to play it. It's cool, Rod. You're giving yourself more options. Yeah. again, I know it's tough to grasp because I was the buying the whole, but I'm just impatient, you know. And like I said, I'm not one of the real Bitcoiners, peoples. I don't want to be, you know, I don't pretend to be. But I'm gonna have exposure through different ways, and I'm gonna make money with that money. Hey, Rod, you doing Guestimania tomorrow? I'm back home. I was just talking about that. Like, I'm trying to continue and keep Guestimania. It does do well, that video still actually does do well. So I have to get the motivation to do it. We have 6 baseball games in a row over the next, well, over the past, you know, 2. We already had 2. We have like 3 or 4 more. I don't even know, but I'm just trying to get the energy to do it. But hopefully, yes, Cooper. I don't know about tomorrow, but definitely, hopefully Sunday. The whole Bitcoin maxi group is toxic anyway. Like, Bitcoin is ever going. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just too much. I don't. Hello, Cooper. Hope the trip was fun. Yeah, hope you enjoyed your trip. You should have put your limit buy below 125 for MSTR, but at least you got some. MSTR, what limit buy? All right. Anyway, so here it is. Here's the income for the week. Open paid me nothing. SOFI paid me nothing. NVDL paid me 230. VIX paid me 15. IWM extrinsic only paid me 214. IBIT 35. TSLL 83. And high yield dividends 97.50. All right, that's a total of 674.50 for the week. Active holdings tab. If it matters, again, we're at house money for the VIX. Open, we didn't make any money, so we're not any closer, but hopefully we get there. But again, who's my favorite of the group? IWM is turning into my favorite. NVDL is amazing. IBIT's going to be awesome. SOFI should be good. Open, I could care less at this point. You know, it was my high risk, high reward. It's now turned into just a hopper only. All right. Update on the balance. Again, I moved some money around. So we went from 46K to 70K. Obviously, it doesn't really count. But overall, my portfolio did go up. So I was happy about that. But again, we moved money, Bitcoin money to the brokerage. Bad move, good move. You know, it is what it is. I'm happy about it. I'm actually super happy. I'm going to turn this into 100K. Even though 2,000 a month is coming out for bills, still want to get that to 100K. I should make that a goal. Should I make that an end of year goal? What do you think? Think we could do it? Yeah, we should make some goals. You know, we're freaking slacking here. All right. So total cash 29K, total options pending 10K. So actual cash is 19%. 19K. 19K of 70 is makes my cash position at 28% approximately, which is honestly perfect. I'm loving that right now because if the market crashes, we are ready. Margins, it's only showing 7K, but again, it doesn't recognize the cash yet, so I don't care about that. Overall yield based on using 70K. Again, even though I'm not using that whole 70K for all income plays, it's showing that I only have to yield 33%, which is actually a little more reasonable, right? All right, so that's the update. That's the update, ladies and gentlemen. Steel, hopefully you're satisfied with that update, but that's kind of how I'm doing it now. I'm just doing it weekly at the end of my video. I have way too much STRC, kept dollar cost averaging, but had already bought a lot at 99. Now my average is 98. Honestly, yeah, no, I think it'll come back. But if you wanted to get rid of it, just wait till it pops back to the 100, right? It's almost inevitable, right? It's just a matter of time. Average is 97.90 for 31 shares. Again, I sold it when it was dropped. I think I sold it at 98. My average was like 93 though. But honestly, I just thought to myself, like, what am I doing? Yeah, I had a lot of money in there just yielding 11%. I'm like, that never makes me happy. If I'm trading options myself, I'm not happy with 11% yield. So why would I be happy with 11% on another investment? It didn't make sense to me. So that's why I kind of get rid of it. Did someone say Bitcoin maxi? Are you a Bitcoin maxi? I don't even know what that means. All right. Anyway, so that is the update. None of this, of course, is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, then I don't know. Maybe I'll try better next week. Again, once a week, I'll do these updates. Hopefully they help. But if you have questions, let me know. Don't leave the questions in the comments. Honestly, I'm not going to probably answer them. Just come to the Discord and ask it. That's the best route. I mean, if you want to leave a comment for the keyword or just a comment in general, that's fine. I'll read it. But again, I'm not going to promise I'm going to be answering comments because there's all this spam now too. The comments just get buried. It's kind of a nightmare. And I used to like be on top of that. I delete all the spam as soon as it came up, but I can't keep up. That they won. I'm defeated. If the spammers win, they take over my comments. It is what it is. I don't even care. They can have it. They will raise the distribution 100%. 100% they will. I think so too. To what? I don't know. They got to be careful though. They don't have many raises left, I don't think. So, all right. Any final questions before we head off? We'll play the RODY song and we can talk in the comments while we think of a keyword. But does anyone have a question in regards to any of the RODY? I know it was a lot. This is just a lot. I get it, but I'm learning. Hopefully you're learning. That's the whole point, man. That's the whole point. So, yeah. Brad has a good post about it. About what? SDRC? Yeah, I know he has a lot of SDRC. If I could live off 10%, I'd probably just have SDRC. Then I don't have to do anything, right? No, I'd probably still trade, but I would have a decent amount of it. But again, I have to live off 40, 50%. So 11% not going to cut it. All right, I'm going to play some music. Let's think of a keyword while we chat in the comments.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo! Yeah. Early mornings before the sunlight, house still sleeping. Screens already lit, one desk, one plan. Every click gotta mean something. Born in the garage, one outlet, one extension. Pressure taught discipline, not talking, just intention. No suit fed my confidence, no hand-me-down plays. Bills on the counter taught me risk has a face. They said trust the system, I trusted the work. Every loss paid tuition, every win left a scar. I heard a cricket in the quiet, steady chirp in the dark. Like patience beats panic when you're playing it smart. If I eat, that's on me. If I fall, same name. From the people for the people, no shame in the gang. This ain't Wall Street. This RODY, hey. Bang for the buck, move slow, move low. Stack that premium, protect my six. Upside open, but I hedge that risk. This ain't luck, I'm ready. Garage born mine with the market steady. Yeah, I don't chase green candles, I monetize waiting. Data working daily while they guessing and praying. Risk defined entry, exit already mapped. Know what I lose before the order gets tapped. Premium stacking, structure over sensation. Volatility paying rent with no conversation. I don't need direction, I trade behavior. Let emotion burn out, let the numbers stay paper. Fast money flashy, but it fades when it's pressed. I want repeatable wins with my downside dress. Not a lottery ticket, this a blueprint I trust. Level the field, get more bang for the buck. This ain't Wall Street, this RODY. Bang for the buck, move slow, move low key. Stack that premium, protect my six. Upside open, but I hedge that risk. This ain't luck, I'm ready. Garage born mine with the market steady. Raj, cricket, patience building the minutes. Risk known, I don't trade what I don't own. Not for everyone, let's keep it exact. Pressure make diamonds, not internet caps. No handouts, no hero, no suit to impress. Just structure, discipline, time doing reps. RODY the method, remember the name. From the people, for the people, but not everyone plays. Born in a garage, born in a garage, yeah, born in the garage, inspired by cricket. Built for the people, but not everyone gets it. Born in a garage.
All right, so if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. You have to see the baby. With no help from the audience, the keyword today is it born in a garage? Is it? Or is it BitX? Let's make it BitX. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, today's keyword is BITX. Because again, I want to trade BitX next week. I want to know your thoughts on BitX actually too. if it's worth a damn or not. Either way, I'm out of here. BitX is the key word. That means once this video is posted to YouTube and X, you got to type in the comments BIGX. It's in the game. All right. Sound good? Anyway, thank you for watching this long ass video. Seriously, appreciate it. I went way too long, but hours usually my limit. But again, JUCY takes up too much time. I should probably clip that so if people want to watch it separately. But anyway, seriously, thank you for watching and have a good day. Later.